Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna say it. I did not like Raw. There were literally only 3 segments throughout the whole 3 hours that I either laughed or I was engaged in. So yes, this is gonna be another Raw rant review because I'm pissed off about what I watched, and on top of that, I'm dealing with other stuff in my life. So this is gonna be a freaking doozy. Vince McMahon was backstage, and the only reason why I knew about this, other than the fact that it was very apparent on Raw last night that he was backstage and he was involved in something, was the fact that even before the show started, one of my wrestling YouTuber friends messaged me and let me know that Vince was going to be backstage. And I didn't want to believe it. I was a little bit in denial until I watched Raw and I was convinced. So for everybody out there, wrestling fans and wrestling news reporters alike, that we're talking about how, Vince is coming back and he is going to resume his role as executive chairman, and he's not going to touch the product. He's not going to bother with creative. He's just going to focus on selling the company, and he's going to allow Triple H to continue being the CCO of WWE, and he trusts him, and all this BS was total BS. Like, you could have smelled it from 3 miles away that Vince was going to weasel his little way back into being involved in the day-to-day stuff, back to the creative aspect of WWE and these brands. And oh my gosh, I don't even know where to freaking begin. Watching those 3 hours, you could see that this episode of Raw was really focused on either giving us shorter matches, giving us pointless matches, or trying to find ways to solidify more matches for WrestleMania. And it's crazy because 3 matches were solidified and set in stone to be at WrestleMania. Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan Paul was one of them. Another one was Austin Theory versus John Cena, because John Cena was there in Boston, Massachusetts. And then the other one is Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus versus Damage Control. Who wanted that? Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa. Match was good. Obviously, you got Solo, you got KO. Kevin Owens won by disqualification because Jey Uso wanted to insert himself and start beating up KO. So then it's 2-on-1 and KO's getting beat up by Solo and Jimmy. And who comes in to rescue KO other than Sami Zayn? Yet, Kevin Owens still will not take Sami up on his offer to join forces to take down the Bloodline. And then even later on in Raw, they're backstage and KO is refusing to work with Sami, saying that when I said I was done with you, I was done with you. Maybe you should go back to Roman. Maybe he'll forgive you and bring you back into the Bloodline. Maybe that's what you should do. But even though it's been hard for me to take them down, it's hard for you to take them down. You might be right, but I don't want to work with you. Oh, boo-boo. Boo-boo. Best believe we already know that KO is eventually going to take Sami up on his offer. It's clear that it's going to be KO and Sami Zayn versus the Usos. Now, is it going to be a non-title match or a tag team championship on the line at WrestleMania? Who knows? But I know for sure that this is going to happen. They're just stretching it out. They're stretching out this whole thing with Kevin Owens. Him saying yes now, it would be too soon. They're trying to drag it out. It's only the beginning of March. They have until April, the 1st and 2nd of April. So they have time. So I get it there. But this Bianca Belair versus Carmella match, it wasn't given, baby. It wasn't given at all. And there's several reasons why it wasn't given. Now, mind you, I am fully aware, and I watched Raw just like you did. I understand why Carmella and Bianca are having a match, or had a match yesterday. I get it. Carmella was butthurt because she lost her match against Asuka last week. So she decided to bum rush Asuka and Bianca. So then we get a Bianca and Carmella match. Okay, it was a non-title match. Okay, I mean, even if it was a title match, I still wouldn't care, but it being a non-title match, I really don't care. Even within this bout between Bianca and Carmella, they just weren't meshing well. They're sticking Carmella with Chelsea. Now, I love the back and forth with them two, they vibe and they on the same page and everything, Karen 1 and Karen 2. But I'm afraid that WWE is going to do Chelsea Green wrong and they're going to stick her with Carmella and they're just going to be two peas in the pod. And I'm afraid Chelsea is going to become Carmella's sidekick. And we have seen in and out of WWE how good Chelsea is as a heel. Chelsea and Carmella just start freaking up Bianca Belair because obviously Bianca won the match. Why wouldn't she? The segment itself with Bianca getting beat up by Carmella and Chelsea was just used to bring out Asuka. Let's be real. Let's speak some facts here. They bring out Asuka to be in the ring with Bianca Belair, pushing that in our face. Why? Because we don't care. We don't care as much. And maybe I should just speak for myself because I'm sure there are people out there that care about this Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. I don't. I feel like they have not done anything to build this up as much as they have done with Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's Championship for WrestleMania. Like, they've been doing a lot more, and even with that, it's still subpar with how they've been pushing that. But it's been a lot more than the Asuka and the Bianca Belair. Logan Paul coming out to be in the ring with Seth freaking Rollins and The Miz, only to barely be able to get a word in edgewise. Not because of Seth cutting him off, not because of The Miz cutting him off. It was because the crowd didn't want to hear a damn thing from Logan Paul. Because every time the man would talk, what would happen? They would sing Seth freaking Rollins' theme song, his entrance music, every time the man spoke. So either the crowd would sing Seth Rollins' song or they would boo every time Logan Paul talked. That was funny AF. At one point, I thought the crowd was gonna hold Raw hostage. So that was funny. One thing I can say about this segment is at least the build for this match at WrestleMania was solid. It was a solid segment to build up to this big match on the biggest stage of them all. Can we talk about what the point was to have Dolph Ziggler go against Omos? Now, they will sell to you, WWE will sell to you that Mustafa Ali set this whole thing up so that instead of Dolph Ziggler having the rematch with Mustafa Ali after Ali beat him, Mustafa made it so that Dolph would fight Omos instead. If this is supposed to build up Omos to make us believe that he's gonna win against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, what crack are you smoking? I'm not gonna even talk about the Finn Bálor versus Johnny Gargano match. The only thing I will say about it is I'm just happy that the crowd is behind Johnny Gargano. The crowd was more invested in this match and wanted Johnny Gargano to win. And I'm glad that the man won. He got a W. That's great. What pissed me off was the fact that I'm so sick. Don't get it twisted. I love Edge. I just hate the fact that we keep seeing Edge and Finn Bálor and Edge and Judgment Day. It needs to die already. I thought we were done this. Edge, at one point in his promo, Edge, a while back, he's talking about how I'm done with the Judgment Day. It's over. We can move on. We can move past it. It's done. No, it's not, because we still keep seeing Edge and Judgment Day, Edge and Finn Bálor, back and forth every time. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm done. It's been done. It's been stomped in the ground. I don't care about this feud anymore. It should have ended months ago, okay? Piper Niven versus Nikki Cross match. It wasn't a squash match, but it darn sure felt like it. Because the fact that Piper Niven beat Nikki the way that she did, I felt like Nikki could have kicked out of that. What are they doing with Piper Niven? Because I'm seeing that they're building her, but they're building her to do what? They're building her to go against who? Like, what is this for? Like, this should have went longer. I feel like that's my biggest problem. If Nikki Cross was going to lose, it should have been longer. The Chad Gable and the Baron Corbin match made me feel like that too. Like, what is with these short matches? Here we go again with these short matches. They do nothing. We can live without seeing them if you're not gonna do them right, Vince. John Cena and Austin Theory segment. Oh my gosh, I was cracking up so hard. This was like one of the few moments in Raw where I actually enjoyed myself because John Cena was tearing into Austin Theory, coming at his inner soul, talking about nobody cares about you, no one believes in you, you don't even believe your own hype. And then Austin Theory get butthurt and pissed off talking about John Cena's bald spot, and then John Cena talking about how they gotta play crowd track because ain't nobody caring about you when you in the ring. Nobody cares about you, son. They just make you look like you relevant, but you're not. It's funny. Like, this was hilarious, and I felt like this was, and it's only because John Cena. It was only because of John Cena and the fact that they were in Boston, Massachusetts that made building up this match for WrestleMania good. It was one of the best segments I've seen Austin Theory in. John Cena brought out the best in Austin. And it actually, surprisingly, it made me look forward to this United States Championship match at WrestleMania. I hope John Cena beats the freak out of Austin. I already know Austin's probably gonna win, but this is going to add another accolade to Austin. Chad Gable and the Baron Corbin match. That was short AF. You all know I say this in all of my Raw reviews, watch alongs, whatever. Whenever I talk about Raw, you're always gonna hear me talk about Alpha Academy, whether it's Otis, aka Otis, or if I'm talking about Chad Gable. So to have Chad Gable wrestle Baron Corbin and for Chad Gable to actually get a W, I'm shook. I'm surprised Chad Gable won. And what sucks is I wanted to enjoy this victory, but it wasn't satisfying because it was such a short match. I know that they had the whole storyline behind it with Baron Corbin being asked by Maximil Bottles to take out Chad Gable so that Otis can join the Maximil Models. I don't know how I feel about that anymore. I've been kind of on the fence with this whole Otis and Maximil model thing. I'm worried now that it's going to not be done the right way and it's going to just piss on Otis even more, and it's just gonna leave Chad Gable out to dry. I thought they were going to build up Baron Corbin after him getting kicked to the curb by JBL with no suitcase and no clothes inside. No, he gets freaked up. He gets freaked up by Sami. He gets freaked up by Cody Rhodes. He gets freaked up by Chad Gable. He just gets freaked up by everybody. So it's like no one gives a F about Baron Corbin. The WrestleMania match that I can't even say it. There's several matches on the WrestleMania card that I couldn't give two damns about. And this whole Lita, Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus versus Damage Control match, it's one of them. I don't care about this 6-woman tag team match. Io Sky and Dakota Kai lost their tag team championships to Becky Lynch and Lita. I guess every horsewoman has to have the tag team belts at least once. I guess that's a requirement because now Becky has had her chance to be a tag team champion. And another thing, I'm not gonna be surprised when Io Sky and Dakota Kai officially drops Bayley like a bad habit. I can see it now. Like every time Bayley volunteers those two women to do something, they lose. And it's probably gonna be no exception with this. Lita, Becky Lynch, and Trish Stratus are gonna win this at WrestleMania. I believe it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This match at WrestleMania is going to be the nail to the coffin of Damage Control, and I'm looking forward to it. I honestly want everybody to go off on their own and flourish on their own, and it sucks because I felt like Damage Control had potential to be great, but with no direction within the group and with these women just doing whatever and trying to be a team and having these weak promos and not having enough presence, it just doesn't give anything for the group. We all knew that Jey Uso was going to pick his brothers. We knew that Jey Uso was going to pick the Bloodline over Sami Zayn. We knew this. We were just waiting. But I will say this, Jey Uso should be ashamed of himself. Why, you ask? He took my heart. He ripped it out of my chest. He gave it a bear hug. Then he slammed it on the ground, laughed at it, stepped on it, and walked away. That's what he did. That's what he did. He had me. I thought, no. When he hugged Sami Zayn, I felt that in my soul. And I was so happy. I was legit getting emotional. No, dude, take a few steps back, looked at Sami, drop kicked him. But there was a small part of me that thought otherwise. And this is why we all say that he deserves Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Hands down. And so does Jimmy for that reason. The way that Jimmy and Jey were in the ring, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm telling you, I felt like I was watching a telenovela. I felt like I was watching a drama, Days of Our Lives. Like, I was feeling it, like the brotherly love, the torment between, do I pick my brother from blood or do I pick my brother from another mother? Like, oh my goodness, the faces that Jimmy was making, the faces that Jey was making. But when it comes down to it, I guess blood will always be thicker than cool high fives and free Waffle House meals. So guys, let me know what you thought about Monday Night Raw. I am second guessing whether I should watch it next week because I was not feeling it. I don't know what WWE is doing. I don't know what Vince is doing, but I see his little grubby hands on the product. The same thing that people were saying he wasn't gonna do. He doing it, y'all. He all up on the product. The moment I was talking, like I said, I was talking to one of my wrestling YouTuber friends, and we were talking about, yo, if Vince comes out and say he back, like visibly, like say I'm back, I'm doing creative, I'm not watching no more. I'm not. But guys, yeah, let me know what you thought about Monday Night Raw. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more episodes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be going live on Wednesday for Dynamite. So if you guys are interested in joining me in the watch along crew, do so. I will be going live at 7:50 Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. So signing off, guys. Bye.